So, win conditions, right? A little bit on win conditions when we start this. Uh, your bottom lane should be even with theirs. You have a ranged champion in Karma support, and Thresh, even though he's ranged, is going to want to all in. Doesn't have as good as poke. So your lane should be pretty even. And mid to late game, that's going to be really good because if you guys can play that out, their team has really weird like disengage. If you guys get ahead with the Karma and the Vayne, you can go in on a lot of different people. Um, Lux has one snare. Vigar, his CC is delayed, and generally that is a good disengage, but you could have killed him by then if you're Rengar, right? And Thresh is only going to disengage with Flay, which you shouldn't get in range of. Basically, that means that if you get a speed up from Karma, in her shield, and then you're also really fed to just like two-shot people, could be a really good game for you guys. So just starting it off, saying you as Vayne have a good chance of carrying this game. Looking into your other teammates, it's a little bit trickier in individual lane matchups. Teemo should be able to outsplit the Lux, but he's actually going to be losing early. Just because Lux has more range and can poke Teemo down. Rengar is not going to be doing much pre-6. Jax might. And Jax is going to look to split push. And he can probably 1v1 the Teemo later on. I don't know if he can 1v1 the Yasuo. That'll probably be a mixed bag. Vigar is going to be just sitting in mid lane farming pretty much all game, I imagine. And late game, he's going to one-shot you. So ideally, you in this kind of mid game. Um, I would say that the best strategy for you this game is you can play aggressive bot lane. Jax is not going to cheese gank you. He might be down there at 4.5 minutes though, so I'd start playing safe at 4.5 minutes, and then start pressuring again. Again, your bottom lane is strong, and you should use that. Whenever you can set up yourself a lead, Vayne isn't the best at rotating for towers, but Vayne is really good at skirmishes. And you can get a lot from skirmishes because the Lux, if she's in a really extended lane and you were to rotate top and kill Lux, all of a sudden that's pretty much a free turret. And then Ashe has teleport for some reason. I don't know. Interesting start. And I wasn't paying too much attention to runes or anything, so I know you're running press the attack, which I think is the best one on Vayne. Unless you're in a really difficult lane, but you're not. You're in a strong lane. And you guys watched pretty nicely, and you're going bottom. Okay. Since they showed up on time, 4.5 minutes is what it's gonna be. I really don't like it whenever people walk this way. It is safer, but you have a really strong level 1. And look, you have potential to miss this depending upon who your jungler is. See, you lost one of those, and you didn't really need to. If you had gotten here just a little bit sooner, and going this way is faster. Your early lane, let me show you this. So you get 2 attacks off, and then you back off. You want to try and proc that for that extra damage, and I'm pretty sure he already used his flay, didn't he? No, no flay. Okay, you're right. All right, maybe you would have played that safe. That's okay. I probably still would have gone for it. It's really good of you to be positioning behind minions like that. You got level 2 and you're not using it. This is a pretty critical time. There's no way they're going to outlevel you, and here's where you can start pressing your advantage. Remember how I told you you have a strong lane? You have a trinket, you can ward this, you can get condemn and condemn the Thresh. That doesn't mean you have to stay on the Thresh, but then the Thresh can't do anything unless you go on the Vayne. That's where you start getting lane control. You got this level 2 spike and you're not doing anything with it, which means you don't understand power spikes. Um, Maybe you're just waiting for like level 6, but you don't have to do that. Vayne has a pretty good level 2. Karma has a really good level 2. Karma has a really good level 1 through 3. She's really strong champion right now. And you have a trinket, ward this, start the fight. But instead, you just sit on your wave. See? Look. You sit on your wave. You literally stop and you turn around and you choose your spell that you want to upgrade, and then you go back to the wave, and now your power spike's already over. It's been like 3 seconds, and now they can kill this. See? And now if you're watching cooldowns, his hook's down, you can play aggressive, and you're not. Whenever someone walks up in your auto range and you're just pushing the wave. And pushing the wave is good, but whenever you have a free chance to auto attack the enemy, take that over just free pushing the wave. Like, you see how you're not doing anything here and your Karma's auto attacking? I'll try and point it out a little bit more clearly. So you're auto attacking this wave, his hook's on cooldown, take a step closer, and then you can auto attack the Thresh. You see, now you might want to be looking for that last hit, okay? But then after that, go for the auto attacks on this guy, right? You're wasting all of this time, and you don't have anything to really do with the minions because your auto attack's already reset, right? You do get 1, but you should have gotten like 3. Okay, you get 2. Alright, I'll give you some partial credit there, but you see, you were still able to get that minion. And that whole, like, 6-second window here, you got 2 auto attacks off. You should look to get a lot more than that. Whenever your wave is in a good position, you know, you have no last hits to get, you don't need to push. Your wave is already pushing. Go for the last hits. Or go for the enemy champions. Don't just push the wave. Now, this is misunderstanding targeting. Thresh already used all of his shit. You did condemn Thresh, and I wouldn't have even condemned Thresh, because now you're going to die. And, okay, so instead you just blow both summoners. If you had condemned away the Ashe, you probably would have been able to just walk away. Thresh didn't have anything to get to you, because he already used it on Karma. You would have saved both of your summoners, would have walked away. If you're thinking that you would have killed someone there, think of it this way. You just had all of Thresh's abilities, you know, used on Karma. Everything was used. So why would you focus Thresh? You got the Ashe here with half life. Thresh is tankier, more life. Ashe has all of her shit up still, and she has more auto attack damage. You should be going on the Ashe. And you had a really good condemn on the Ashe too. Instead, you look for the Thresh, and then you tunnel onto the Thresh, and there's no way in hell you're going to kill him. Targeting, and knowing when to go aggressive, those are pretty big things. In a lane you should be winning, you did, you know, your support got hooked, but you weren't doing anything to harass them. You got off like maybe 3 auto attacks on them so far this lane. And it's a lane you should be dominating. I know I said even originally, but I'm switching that. I'm pretty confident that you should be winning this lane. And now look at, okay. See your inventory right here? You got a trinket. Whenever you're walking away from the lane, that's when you want to drop that. Otherwise, you have a really risky window there. And you see it, you feel it. You can't do anything. And you just want to let it come to your turret. Yep, exactly like that. And now it's the 4.5 minutes, and you want to look and see if you've seen Jax yet. If you've seen Jax, that means that he's still, you know, doing top lane stuff, and he might be bottom at 6 minutes. If you haven't, that means he could be coming bottom around 4 minutes to 4.5 minutes. And I haven't been watching the map, I'll admit that. Yeah, Jax showed mid for a second. See, yeah, he was going top. Right here. 3 minutes, that's whenever I always tell people mid and top to watch out for that gank, that really obvious gank, and then he goes walking top. So you're fine. He might be bottom around 5 to 6 minutes now, though. There he is. Your last thing under turret is okay. It could be a little better, but not really worth, like, wasting time over. Alright, so what's really bad about this situation, right, is you're both half-life, you have no summoner spells, and Jax should be bottom around 5 to 6 minutes. Thresh has his flash still, and he can easily get a gank off here. I would be playing it really safe. Your Rengar is not going to be bottom anytime soon, so there's no way this turns into anything good. The only reason you should be staying in this lane is waiting for a cannon wave, and then you need a recall. There's nothing else to stay for here because you're just going to die. Your pressure is here, and it's not anywhere near you. This is as far away as it can be. And their pressure, well, I guess I'm not paying enough attention because he's mid, but it's still not a very good thing. I stand by not wanting to stay for this, just because you don't have sums. Karma does have exhaust. Ashe has teleport. If it was standard, Ashe wouldn't have TP. Why do you walk away from that? Get your third hit. That was your chance to actually go in. Wow, you really, really don't know aggression. And you just push the wave. Do you see what the Ashe does here? Take this to heart. Take this to heart. Because this is something you need to learn how to do. You see how there's nothing for her to do in this wave? That's when she's looking to go on you. She's still positioning well for the Karma, so she's still being safe, right? She's still being safe. She's looking to go towards the Thresh in case Karma went in. You know, there's nothing to do on this wave still. That. It's super small, but it adds up. Do you see, if you were to do this, 5 times, all of a sudden they're down 300 health. That's a lot. That's a lot. You want to know how much health you have? You have 760. You would have almost half healthed them if you just did that 5 times. Now, think about that. Think about how easy that fight would have been earlier, right? Because they both started that fight with half health. If you had been able to harass them a little bit, and Vayne can harass. Vayne can harass. You've seen these trades where you back off and you could have gotten more damage in. So that shows you can harass. But if you had done more, you would have been able to probably trade a kill. Or at least keep your sums. I wouldn't have actually gone for that one because you had minions there that you needed to pay attention to. So you see, you're going for the auto attack on her when you could have gotten this. It's gone. And then you lose that one too. And then you lose that one 3. Oh, maybe you do need to spend some time working on your last hits, especially under pressure. Because maybe you thought that Ashe was going to hit you. Okay. If you were trying to trade autos to make it so that the Ashe couldn't just harass you for free, then it's better just to basically wait till it gets to your turret. Because you need to just look for those windows that she found to go aggressive, and go for those exchanges then. You don't have to trade exactly when they're trading with you. You can force your own trades. You wait too long to go into this gank. Could have gone in a lot sooner, even though you didn't have your heal. Karma still had her exhaust. It would have just been a better bait. Might have been able to get both of them. Stay for this. I know you're worried about the Jax, but ping the Rengar to stay with you and push this in. Because this wave's in a very bad spot. And he would love to stay for that, trust me. You took the kill. He's got that, I see his Dark Harvest. It's a cannon wave. Get him those stacks. Tell him to push the wave with you. Because this wave, Karma has to stay to push this by herself because you're not managing the wave. And Ashe teleports. I guess you were expecting that. That's not normal though. Man, Jax is camping the shit out of mid. Lucky you. Let's see what you're doing with your items. I like it. You know what you're not doing with your... Okay, hang on. Where are you... What are you putting your wards? That probably used it for the Thresh earlier. Okay. Alright, you really do need to spend some time working on your last hits. Because look at this wave. Look at this wave. Miss. You got 1. You got 2. You got 3. You got 3 out of that wave. Do you want to see how many are in this wave? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got a third. That's not good. You have a lot of AD here, too. There's nothing to really look for. And you lost 2/3 of those. So you lose minions over here, and you lose minions whenever they're free. That's not good. I thought your problem was you lose another one. If you're focusing this hard on pushing, then you're gonna you miss another one. Okay, yeah, this is actually a really big problem. You have so much AD that you really shouldn't be missing minions anymore. Like early on, it makes sense to, but now you're having to use tumble to make sure you get these last hits. That's kind of funny. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. That makes you a lot less able to trade. You go for the condemn on Thresh again. You don't need to do that. Thresh already used everything. Look for the Ashe. Oh my gosh, and you missing more? And I know what your problem is, because you feel like you constantly need to auto-attack the wave. Well, honestly, if you lost your tower because you were just, like, letting them get to your tower, you would probably have your tower on 30% health right now instead, right? That would be the difference, and it's 10 minutes in, so first turret probably would already have been fallen by now in a normal game. Well, at least in one of my normal games, because everyone just ends. But, you see, that damage that it does to the turret wouldn't have killed it by now, is what I'm saying. Which means you wouldn't have, quote-unquote, lost lane. I know a lot of people think that getting first tower is winning lane. It's not. But if you just let it get to tower, you don't have to worry about just shoving all the time. I'm not saying don't shove, but, you know, you're not paying attention to your auto attacks at all. Like, whenever you can go to the enemies to harass them, you're too focused on pushing the wave. Whenever you could get those last hits of the 9 minions that were here, you just focused on pushing the wave. Don't do that. That's not good. Look at all of these that you're losing. You don't ah ah oh my gosh. Mm. Okay. So showing up to this is what you're trying to show up to this, right? I'd be really nervous about showing up to this. The Lux is the one that's here. the Vygar's missing right now, and both of the bottom laners came up. Your Yasuo looks like he's running away, right? That's how this starts. He kills the Jax. Lux TP's in. Karma's walking up. And you know their bottom lane's coming. But you could just walk this out. Well, you could have just walked this out. For some reason, the Karma turned around. That wasn't a fight you needed to show up for because you see it's already over. And now what happens next is you're zoned out of this wave because your Karma died. You're zoned out of this wave because you can't push it up because they just walk back and kill you. Alternatively, you had already pushed it into tower, so whenever they might have chased the Karma or something, or maybe they just left to come back to you, they would have lost the wave here, and you would have been a little bit closer in gold. Only behind 150 instead of behind 300. And if you forced them to come back right away, you could just turn the fuck around and leave. And you would have been able to kind of guess that. The wave's in a safe spot. It's not like they had a bard to gank you. You see, you're zoned out of this wave. And that's another shit time to back. I know you think that they're on Dragon or something, but you're really recalling at poor times. So for all the shoving you're doing, you have no wave management. The 2 recalls you've gotten so far have been terrible. Because they caught that entire wave. I would have left that too. Well, I meant the Karma, not necessarily the wave. You're... Again, I know you think that they're on Dragon, so you want the wave to be close to you because he can't extend. And then you... Huh. Ah! You've got to work on your last hitting. It's so necessary. See this difference in CS? You've missed out on 30 minions at least. That shouldn't happen. Not in a lane you should be winning. Hmm. Okay, so you're not defending this. That's stupid. Don't go up here to defend this. The reason I tell AD carries to rotate, once you take this tower, you rotate top lane, that's to extend your lead for the team. It gives your whole team more gold. It opens up the map. You lost this turret, and now your first reaction is to go top to defend this turret that's dying? No, 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 it's dead. What your goal should be now is to keep Vision where the Ashe should be and to keep her away from the fights. Because she's a lot stronger than you. And what you can do is just hunt for the skirmishes. Vayne is a really strong 1v1 champion. And Ashe has fucking teleport. So what you do is you constantly push out this wave. You keep Vision in river. So with your pink ward, you pink up here. And as soon as the Ashe leaves wherever she's grouped, you walk away. And whenever you see her walking to group, you push this wave again. And the ultimate goal is for you to split push this turret down to even out this goal that Ashe has gotten her team. If you can kill the Ashe, which you theoretically can, then that makes it even better. You get rid of a power player on their team. Start to narrow the gold gap between you two. But you go top lane and see, dead. And now you're kind of wandering. And now Teemo's coming top. If Why did you... Okay. Now Teemo doesn't know what to do because you just took his lane. Now you don't have sums for this, though. So you're not going to be able to defend this one. And look what you lost mid because you guys had this stupid group thing top. If you're trying to think that, oh, I'm making plays and I'm making this worth, whenever you went top, you lost this tower, and you're going to get a chunk of damage on this tower. That's not worth it. Your strategy here, what it should be, as I said earlier, was to continue pushing out this wave. As the Ashe and the Thresh came bottom, you then could get the Rengar to gank while they're super fucking extended. You know how he died over here? Linear CC and he fucking dove. Because you were trying to force this. If you had Karma and you fucking exhaust the Ashe, there's no way in hell he's gonna die over here when he ganks. And if you condemn the Ashe, there's no way in hell he's gonna die if he ganks. But instead, you guys are gonna get a huge chunk of damage done to this turret. And you lost mid turret. That was a terrible rotation. Now for some reason Teemo's down here. Oh, did he trade with Yasuo? That makes sense. Mechanically, you could have played this better. I don't think your decision making was bad, but mechanically you could have played it better. So, for starters, let's look at this. You have a trinket. Trinket this, you wouldn't have had to have played weird around this fucking Jax. Trinket this, right? You're not using your resource. Second thing, do you see what they just used? They used two of their most powerful crowd control abilities, and let's see, did they use Lux's snare yet? Okay, there's that down. He's not even here. Nah, Lux didn't snare. Your positioning here, you walk back in almost to the Jax. You don't dodge out of this. And as I said earlier, they just used all of their crowd control. You could be looking to trade at least autos. And you would if you dodged shit, which you should have been able to, you would have had full health. Because you know what hits you? One thing. Really easy to dodge that too. Now, again, I'm not saying that it was a bad idea to walk away. This is why it wasn't a bad idea. He's getting something over here, and if you guys had somehow fucking lived, it would have been fine. But you didn't. You were taking that fight one way or another because you were in this really fucking narrow passageway. You shouldn't have been there to begin with, and then that begs the question, why was Teemo even there? This is exactly what you actually want to be doing right here. Bottom lane, and keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Because you see this? This is going to draw people top lane. This is going to draw people top lane. And if they go for Baron, honestly, you're not going to be a huge factor to that fight. The biggest factor is Yasuo, and you want Yasuo to not be split pushing bottom. You want him to be up here. So to make sure he's up here for now, you want to push out this wave. And you see, you came back to it anyway, so why didn't you just stay in it? Do you see this time you waste? Let's see. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 seconds till you're back where you started, and then you go back to this wave. And as I said, they're going to be going top lane. You see this? Going top lane. And now you back off again. I would be continuing to push again. Like I said, you want to be creating pressure. Vayne is not a very strong ARM champion. This is not a good idea. Sending Yasuo bottom is okay, though, at this point. And, you know, actually, let me correct myself. Yasuo being bottom to split this out isn't a good idea necessarily, because you should have gone and pushed that in yourself. He was coming bottom to fix what you were doing. You see, he didn't even stay. He left because this was in a bad spot, and he was fixing it. So because of what you did earlier, you set up this play where he ends up wasting time. And you're still wasting time. So collectively, you've wasted probably a minute now. And now you walk all the way back here. Alright, collectively, you've probably wasted 2 minutes now. And you're not going to be a huge factor for that Baron fight. The best thing you can do is just play it out and like let your team control this area while you go down here. And the reason is because they have so much more pick than you guys do. And they have all the control in this area, so the only way you can go into this is blind. What do you do whenever you can't go into areas like this? They have complete control of this. You either have a tank that can just fucking walk in, which you don't, or you create pressure somewhere else that they have to respond to, or they have to rush the objective themselves. And you have the ability to steal this still, and if they're doing this, they get their armor and magic are just shredded, and they're not in position to just pick you guys. So you create pressure by pushing this lane. Pushing mid is only how you maintain control of this area, but it's not going to create pressure because they'll just walk back and forth between this blind spot. And top lane is a similar thing. By the time you show up here, do you see what has already happened? You have died, and Teemo has died. Their pick potential is so much better, and you're not recognizing this. Now that wave, drawing everyone bottom. Good. No! Good. You see, you already saw the mid. You saw the Ash and the Thresh. Keep going. You don't have to kill yourself either. You can try and fight that. You're not weak. Mm. And you're staying there alone. You don't want to do that either. You see what happens here? You step up alone. Only one here stepping up. Now the game's really tricky because you need to still do exactly what I was saying earlier. Your condition really hasn't changed, except for now you don't have the ability to rotate between things because this wave is always going to be pushing into you. It's always going to be pushing into you. So they have complete Baron control, and it's just a matter of time before they take it. Your only thing you can do is keep your pressure down here so this wave doesn't kill you, and hope your team can control this. Same thing as earlier. You see, your team is controlling it. Good. I would do that too. Good call. Good call. Mm. You overstep a bit, but you did good with the first kill. Now they really need you over here again. The heck is Yasuo doing? You would have been able to stay alive and recall for this and allow your team to get mid turret, but instead your team has to recall for that. See, that's what your dive did earlier. It made it so you couldn't get this turret because now your team has to respond to save our turrets instead of pushing this, which it was super duper free after those kills. Back to this lane, doing the right thing. Dragon's not important. Keep this wave going. I do like your build, especially for the wave control that you need. Static Shiv early like this, you know, instead of Phantom Dancer. You're positioning well, backing off from that. You don't want it. Yasuo's pushing this in. Someone's TPing top. No, keep. Yeah. They just drew everyone top lane. So they have two choices. To stay top lane and fight these guys, or to come to you. And if they stay top lane, then you're going to get something. And if they come to you, your team can do Baron. Which they do Baron. See? Excellent. You can stay on that turret a bit, but it's alright. You got something anyways. Just recall. Just recall. There's no reason to be walking away like that. Your half-life, and look, you have to recall. You have to recall. You could have recalled back here. That wave that you pushed in still got them all golden XP and did no damage to turret. No reason to push that in. Unless you really needed the extra, like, 200 gold for an item. If I were you, I would not have rushed a second crit item. I would instead have gone for a Quicksilver. They have so much important CC, from a hook to a Lux Binding to Ash ult. Good. Okay. So, what do you do after this? Go mid. That's fine. Go over here. That's fine. Look for pick. That's fine. That's fine. Nah. Quicksilver would have been real handy right there. Alright, so it looks like it's over. I see that you guys got Baron in the future and win the game. Um, is that your Baron? Yeah, that's your Baron. Okay, so honestly, it feels like you were carried this game. Whenever things happened, they happened over on the other side of the map, and that's what got you the pressure that you needed to be able to do anything. And you were not pushing at all until you were already winning. And that means that you're not helping your team win. You're just being a super minion, which is, you know, the super minions are great, but they're an AI. You need to be better than an AI. You have actual intelligence. So, okay, things that you can be doing differently. Um, for starters, your minion score, last hitting needs a lot of work. Needs a lot of work. You were down 30 CS at one point. from just like shoving the wave. And that's a mentality problem. You don't need to constantly shove the wave. It's good to always be doing something with your auto attack, but fish for harass. If you harass them, then they can't push the wave. All of a sudden, it's the same situation except for they have less health. Your wave's in the same spot. You still get the last hits. Really easy. Okay, and a second thing, you're always going on to the Thresh after he blows everything. That was something I talked about first time. It's watching for cooldowns. And you are not paying attention to cooldowns because he used everything, and then you still focused on him. That's not good. Third thing, let's see. Your pressure that you're creating is so minimal because you're not pushing far enough. And if you're thinking like, oh, I'm afraid of the Jax or something, right? I I think that you would be able to 1v1 him, and I might be wrong, but Vayne is a pretty strong champion. And if you had both of your summoners, you could do it, I think. Now, I'm not saying that you need to base your entire strategy on outplaying someone, but I mean, you in that one time that you were up this far and you suicide because you thought he was going to kill you, just go for the fight. And also, these trades with the Thresh and stuff, you don't go for that fight. Your gank, you wait too far, so you're not playing aggressive. You're not playing aggressive enough. A fourth thing is your rotation was extremely sloppy whenever you went top lane and just lost another turret and then stayed here and then lost another turret and then went back and lost this turret. That's what your rotation did. Your rotation turned one lost tower into 3 extra lost towers, so you lost 4 towers in one play. That's not good. Now, of course, this tower was gone anyway, so you lost 3 towers. The mid lane, this one, and this one. Not good. Your wave, like your recall timers, are terrible. You need to make sure it gets to turret so they lose something. Or at least make sure it's a cannon wave, which I think you did once, but the other time you didn't. So that's like at least 5 things. And, I'm not saying just blindly push. Whenever I'm saying create pressure over here, you kind of had the right idea, you just don't react quick enough to the right things. So someone was not going to be this far into your base earlier on whenever you were scared. Right around here, right? No. Where are we? Right here? So at this point in time, right, you walk away, and they were not going to be right here. You have 2 really good control points, and then a third one right here. And if you were paying attention, they do leave, and then your team push it up, and they've left. See? They've left. And that's something that you took 10 seconds to react to, and then even more time. Because you can then extend this logic. If they didn't come for you right there, then they probably recalled. Or they're on dragon, right? And you got no, you don't have vision on dragon. Is that what you were thinking? They're on dragon? Maybe that's what you were thinking. Yeah, it probably was. Yep, that was what you were thinking. I think that's fine then. Never mind. But this is bad. It's not. You're not risking anything by sitting on that wave. Your team was around this area. You had plenty of room to walk out. I don't know why your karma's over here. Okay. I still think that's 5 things. The most important thing, I would say, is to modify the way you are managing waves. From your last hitting, which is bad, to harassing, which is bad, to constantly feeling like you have to push, which loses you CS and loses you harass. Those three things are kind of all together, and then the fourth thing is knowing when to recall, right? Minions are huge, and you're like an AI just attacking them. You can't do that. You really cannot do that. Alright, well, that's all I got for you.